What's going on, guys? Derek here from Whiskey No Smoke. As always, joined with
Scott from Whiskey No Smoke.
Today we are diving into the little book that you happened to find out in the wild.
Yep, chapter 5. I don't know if I necessarily found it out in the wild, but
It's technically not in the wild.
I walked into Cornhusker Bottle Shop to pick up the Nebraska Select by Penelope, and the good old owner Mark there, he reached under the counter and said, "Hey, know anybody who might want one of these?" And presented me with a little book, chapter 5, and I said this. Yes, I do.
And then you disappeared off into the bushes.
Yeah, I think I still owe him money.
All right.
No, as you can see, it is still uncorked. We have not tried it, so this is going to be a very honest live review. It's probably some slight editing because we trail off into things every once in a while.
Chilly.
Yeah, I did forget it in my truck last night. We were supposed to shoot last night, and my back hurt, so I didn't show up.
It's all good.
So here we are at 10:30 in the morning drinking whiskey.
Cheers.
So let's see, a little bit about it, a little book. Obviously, this is chapter 5. I'm not sure when they're going to release chapter 6. I had a couple buddies that wanted to buy this off of me immediately because they have chapters 1 through 4.
Yeah.
But luckily, they were able to find chapter 5 so I could do this review for you guys. It is, as most of you know, a Jim Beam product.
Yes.
So that might scare some of you away.
It's actually made by one of the descendants of, I believe it's his great-grandson, Freddie No Jr.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So we got, it's a blended whiskey, anywhere from 2 all the way up to 15-year-old whiskey in there. So technically, if they put an age statement on it, it only could be a 2-year whiskey.
Yes. Adam, you have to base it off the youngest whiskey that's going into it. But
They do disclose all that on the nice little tag there. The nice thing is there is a little bit of rye malt whiskey in there, and then the other 3 whiskeys that they blend are just a regular bourbon.
Straight bourbon.
From 2, 5, and 15 years old.
The color is categorized as chestnut, and the MSRP for this is about $125.
Which I believe is what I paid for.
You paid for it?
So,
But,
yeah, just remember, guys, to shop local. They take care of you, especially if you go in there. The owners love it. Talk to them. Well, maybe they don't love it, but talk to them anyways.
build that
deserve
rapport.
it.
That
They
way
deserve
you can build a relationship to whereas you get to find the good stuff.
Yep.
So
I mean, always go in there and buy my just everyday regular stuff, and they see you in there, and they'll eventually start giving you cracks at some of the better stuff. So yeah, this is the little book because everybody knows about Booker's, which Derek happened to find a week or 2 later after I found this one.
just shortly after I found the 2021 batch 3 of the Booker.
So spoiler alert, next video, Booker's. Let's dive into this.
Okay.
I've been waiting. I've been holding on to this for about a month now. I'm a little excited to pop it. It's some hard wax, probably because I left it in the truck. Just making a mess.
A little brittle.
Good thing it's not my house. Ooh, that's a good one. Synthetic cork, which I tend to like.
I'm a fan of them.
Yeah, some people say it's cheaper, but that's fine. I have yet to have
forever.
I've yet to have a synthetic cork break and particles fall into the bottle.
I went to give Courtney's dad a bottle of just the Sazerac rye, and I'd had the bottle for I don't know, probably about 2-3 months. Gave it to him. As soon as I went to pop the cork, it broke.
On the Sazerac rye?
On the Sazerac rye. Very first pop.
I'm willing to guess that there's very little 2-year whiskey in this.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it based on just the color alone.
Yeah. Gotta warm it up. This also is 116.8 proof, so 58% alcohol. So it is a higher proof. The regular Booker's is a little bit higher.
Gotta warm it up.
Yeah, right now it's cold and all it smells like is oak and
I smell oak.
alcohol. Yeah, I left it in the truck overnight. Forgot to bring it inside last night, so it's a little chilly. So we're trying to warm it up here. While we're trying to warm it up, Derek has had quite a bit of luck as of lately finding whiskey in the wild.
Yeah, no, you start memorizing schedules and talking to the actual people that run the liquor store or the department at the local Hy-Vees, and you start kind of getting heads up, and they're usually pretty nice about it. There's one up on 84th. She's a... But
yeah, we won't talk about the bad ones. We'll just talk about the good ones.
But
you might have a far different experience, and we don't want to ruin that experience for you. I just like to promote the companies that we enjoy. You know, Ken's Kegs, Cornhusker Bottle Shop. They take good care of us.
Spots out in Waverly. Hy-Vee on 52nd and O. Hy-Vee out on was it 40th and Old Cheney? Yeah, that's where I got the Stag Junior. I got
yeah, he found a Stag Junior at a Hy-Vee.
Yeah.
Which we always say shop local. I mean, Hy-Vee's kind of considered local.
It's employee owned.
Yeah. It's not mom and pop style
but
shop like I like, but neither one of our stores that the mom and pop ones that we like to go to, they didn't get it. So I love those stores, but I don't love them enough not to buy allocated whiskey when I can find it.
Alrighty.
I'm starting to get vanilla, brown sugar notes. That rye, I'm getting, with the being a little chilled, I'm getting a good rye on the nose there. There's a little bit of spice.
What? Cinnamon.
Yeah.
I smell cinnamon.
I wouldn't say it's really cinnamon in it. I would equate it more to that rye spice. You know, it's cinnamony, but there's just some kind of floralness almost to a rye on top of the cinnamon. Let's try.
Yeah, that cinnamon's pretty profound in that.
Yeah, it's definitely. I'm willing to bet that the rye is the majority of the mash bill here. There's definitely rye in there, but yeah, I'm getting a little bit of rye, so
It is pretty spicy.
That typical rye spice. Which, you know, they released it in the fall, which kind of makes sense to go with fall flavors. Just like Penelope Batch 8 is supposed to be a lot more rye forward.
It is very good.
I will say, it's not very...
It's not proofy.
Yeah, it doesn't taste proofy. I mean, looking at it, it's got good legs and it's got some good oil. It definitely doesn't drink dry, but it doesn't coat the palate like I would think it would by looking at the glass. But it is very good.
It's very good.
It's very good. A lot of oak.
The more it
caramel,
more it warms up, the flavor profile is changing.
Yeah, and that's just gonna happen. You know, like I said, we should have waited about an hour, pulled this in the side.
Yeah, it's all good.
But we got stuff to do. I'm gonna make content for you fools. Derek hasn't put in a air filtration system in his basement, so we can't smoke cigars in here. It's kind of bullshit.
I looked at getting one of those rabbits, but
yeah,
I don't want cigar smoke circulating my house.
Yeah, that's the thing. One day we'll build a cigar lounge in the backyard.
Yeah, it's like a he shed instead of a she shed.
Yeah. Look, honey, I built you something so nice outside that it was originally for you, but now it's for me, so I can get away from you.
Well, I mean, that's the garage. Kind of is I was thinking I got a heater in there.
Yeah, it's definitely opening up. Oh, we don't have an eyedropper.
Oh, shit. I'm going to grab it.
I will say the finish has got a bit of an alcohol punch to it.
A little bit there on the back of the...
But, I mean, it's also, like we said, fairly early in the morning, way before Derek and I usually ever drink.
What is it? 11?
Yeah, 11 o'clock. And usually I don't drink until, at the earliest, 11:30.
Oh, at the earliest. Did you want to try water?
Yeah, let's try some water, see what it does.
I'm going to do 2 drops.
I just think it's going to open it up quite a bit, especially with how oily it is. It's either going to be really good or really bad.
You know, oddly enough, all of that, it really dumbed down that cinnamon smell.
Mhm. Yeah, very, very
More
rye.
caramel now. I'm getting a lot of caramel on the nose. I put 2 drops in. How many did you put in?
I put in 2 as well.
2?
I don't have that much, maybe
Yeah.
3/4 of an ounce
Yeah.
in the glass. It also doesn't help. I had tater tot casserole with peppers in it for breakfast.
The vanilla smell.
Oh yeah, very predominant on vanilla.
It's like the oak smell went away too.
I'm still getting the oak. Still getting quite a bit of oak.
Oh wow.
It's very oaky.
Oh wow. I think it kicked up that rye on the old mouthfeel there.
Definitely on the finish.
Yeah.
On the finish, definitely more rice pipes.
Wow.
But I like it.
Yeah.
I think
do
I
too.
prefer it with water.
I do too.
Yeah, no, it's super good. I would say if you found
really-
one, like. Also, another reason I didn't want to sell this to people is the buddies I have, yeah, they're big whiskey drinkers and collectors. That's fine, because so are we. But none of their little books are open yet. And God damn it, whiskey is meant to be drank.
Yes, it is.
Open it.
It's the same thing that happened with the Stag. Bought it at 9 a.m. As soon as you got to work at 5,
Yep.
popped it.
Yep.
That day.
The only reason I haven't popped this one yet is because I wanted to wait for the video.
First time view. It's the
Yep.
same thing with the Booker.
Yep, just give a good, honest first review of it. No pre-thoughts into it.
God, I really like it with water.
Yeah,
I was really worried. I was really
usually
worried.
we don't.
I know.
I'm going to add just a skosh more.
That oak's back. I can smell it after a couple sips. You kind of get acclimated to it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that oak never went away from me. It was just very good and oaky. But, I mean, again, it's got 15-year-old bourbon in it. So it's going to have some good oak notes to it.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just a all-around fantastic whiskey. I'm not getting a lot of vanilla on it like they kind of say you will.
Yeah.
Really not getting the vanilla. I'm getting a little bit of the brown sugar.
I'm getting more of the brown sugar over vanilla.
Yeah, to me, I don't know. Maybe my palate, it's just too early in the morning for my palate. But, definitely...
We'll cleanse it.
Cheers. But definitely those like oaky earth notes, which I like. They described it as toasted bread. I could kind of get some of that, but not a lot of vanilla. It just drinks more like a rye to me.
It does.
It drinks a lot more like a rye.
And
which
that's not
is-
a bad thing.
No, I like rye.
Yeah, I do too.
This would make a very good expensive Manhattan.
Very, very top shelf Manhattan.
This is a very good top shelf Manhattan. Like, oh God. That's almost sacrilegious, but I want to try it now.
Well,
I want to do a top shelf old fashioned Manhattan video.
do you know how many people would hit us? We'd have to do one with Angels Envy Rye too.
Oh yeah, we do it with all of the rye. Do it with the Pendleton Director's Reserve 20-year. Dalmore Cigar
Oh,
Malt.
that's a little much, that Pendleton 20-year.
What? You don't want to do it with that?
No, I do, but it's like that's where it really becomes sacrilege.
Hey, man, that's one of my favorites. So,
Alrighty. So at the price point of the roughly 125 MSRP, would you buy this bottle again?
I wouldn't buy this bottle again. If I found another one,
Yeah.
I'd buy that.
Like the new one, I think
Yeah.
it's called Stranger.
Yeah,
No Strangers.
if I found a 6, I'd buy it. If I found any of the earlier ones, I'd definitely buy those just to have the collection. You know, I'd definitely open them. For me, stuff like this, you know, released once a year, I only like one. I don't feel the need to own 2
Yeah.
or 3. It's something like this.
Get your one and get out. Don't
You know,
hoard.
the same thing is with almost any allocated bourbon, except for, you know, like the Eagle Rares and stuff, but like how they do the different batches of like Stag Jr., Elijah Craig, Barrel Proof.
Get one a year.
You know, all those. I get one because usually I'm a little bit of a slow drinker. I'll drink a good bourbon 2 to 4 ounces, and then I'll move on to something readily available because
Yeah.
once you drink so much, you just blow your palate out.
It's the same thing. If you look at all of my bottles, the lowest one is the 1897 by Old Forester.
Yeah, that's just one of our favorites.
Yeah,
We haven't done that
It's
one
the
yet.
lowest. I know.
That's so weird.
I
We
know.
haven't done that yet because that's the bottle we always go back to.
I know. It's wonderful.
Always go back to, but it's so available,
Would you
which I love.
would you recommend this to somebody
Absolutely.
if they had the
If you
opportunity? to
like a
purchase it?
good rye spice and heavy oak in your bourbon, it's a very good one. Yeah, I mean,
love
I
it.
think it's a little overpriced. I think I'd like it much more around 90,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
But again, limited quantity, so that boosts the price up a little bit.
For an expensive rye, yeah, because that's basically what it kind of tastes like is a rye whiskey.
Yeah,
So,
it's very heavy oak rye is what I get out of it. But I mean, it's definitely a bourbon, so you know, you don't get a lot of information online about this. Again, 2-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon, a 3-year-old straight rye malt, a 5-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon, and a 15-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon. You know, those bourbons, they could be 50% corn or 51% corn, 75, 90% corn, 100% corn. We don't know
because
what
they
the
don't
mash
release
bill
their
is
mash
on
bills.
each blend.
Yeah,
each
Freddie
of the
No
whiskey.
Jr. keeps that stuff pretty locked
You
in
know,
key.
You know, for a high rye, it's only got to be what, 15 or 20% to be considered a high
15.
rye.
It's at 15 and up. Yeah.
So I mean, it could be 49% rye on that 3-year-old, or it could be 15%.
Yeah.
You just don't know. But I do get a lot of rye spice out of it, which I appreciate. Which is why I think it would make a very good Manhattan.
It's
It would just
really
make
great.
fantastic Manhattan. What about you? Would you buy one?
Yes. Again, I think we're going to try to do lock and step with the releases as far as the next release, Chapter 6, and then hopefully get our hands on the Booker's Batch 4 release for this year because they're releasing that here very shortly. And
It's crazy that they're releasing just 2, boom, boom, right at the end of the year.
yeah, oddly enough, the way that it's worked is they sat on it for 6 years and then they just started releasing it. So it's almost every month, like lock and step, like they're adding specific dates to it. So it's pretty weird that they're doing it that way, but it puts out a really, really good product.
That's a really good product. I would like them to do this in a toasted version.
Not only that, but these bottles are gorgeous.
Yeah, no, they
Like,
they definitely go
absolutely
all out
gorgeous.
with presentation. So you know that's another price point factor. One thing I wouldn't recommend is if you're just getting new into the whiskey and you don't know 100% what you like, or if you really want, like if you're really going to be into whiskey, I probably would shy you away from this because it's $125.
Yeah, and it's complex. It's
It's very complex. It's
and
a
it's-
high proof.
it's higher
for
proof.
most people. I mean,
Yeah.
I rarely drink anything over 100 proof or under 100 proof anymore.
I know.
It's just they're so, except for Scotch, but they're just so the 100 proof and up barrel strengths are just so much more complex.
And yeah, because you're getting the full hilt of the flavor. It's not being cut down
Exactly.
or anything like that.
Exactly. And it generally sits in my glass longer. I don't just, oh, that's really light and easy to drink. So, with that being said, remember to shop local, guys. Also, any of you whiskey lovers out there, hit me up for all your real estate needs.
There you go.
I'll take care of you. We are in the works. Do we want to talk about what we talked about this morning? Or do we want to wait until we can secure the bottle?
Let's wait and get some confirmation, and I'll talk to Gary. And
Okay.
We'll get it worked out. We'll get it
Well,
worked out.
we'll leave you on that cliffhanger. Thanks, guys.